Okay, here's a little 2025 video on my bike. My 2000 Gen 1 KLR 650. It's almost October, so I guess I could make an end of year video on it. I've made one last mod to it this year. Haven't done a lot to it, which is good. I'm still riding on the same tires, Dunlop Trail Max Missions from 2024. They've held up great. No issues with the brakes, no electronic issues. Same windshield. I tried taking off the peak, the little addition there, the top visor. Didn't work so well with the peak on my helmet, and I like that helmet for jumping on trails and such. So, not that I do it often. Admittedly, I don't adventure this bike often, and I don't go off-road with it often. But I use it for work, and when I'm kind of on the weekends, I want to go farther on a tank of fuel than my Yamaha Virago 750. This is the bike to take. So it's comfortable, but I can go farther on a tank of fuel. So that it is what it is until I get a bigger cruiser. Then this will be more of a trail bike, yada yada yada. So what have I done to it this year? I'd say the first thing I did was the chain. It was time to do the chain. In 23 and 24 I'd messed around with the sprockets. I can't remember which year, but I never did the chain, and it had the original chain on it. So it's just, I believe it's just an arcade chain. It's an O-ring chain, and I've got to wax it every about 500 600k. And it was binding up. The original one was binding up. It was rusty, and then I cleaned it up and I oiled it up often, but it was binding. It was just time. It was going to be an issue, unfortunately. Other than that, the sprockets are about from last year when I started messing with the gearing, and the whole rear sprocket and carrier bearing housing was from 2023 when the whole rear carrier bearing housing went. So the chain was the first thing I did this year that I can think of. I actually gutted some wires from I didn't have electrical issues with the bike, but my accessories, my charger and my heated grips all crapped out. The little, whatchamacallit, box that holds it's a big resistor or whatever, it crapped out, a bunch of stuff crapped out, and I really wasn't wanting to put any more into it in those terms. I actually just decided to dismantle it all, go through the bike, take it all apart, and just omit it all together. And I just carry charger packs because I'm not going away for a week or two or a month on end. And if I was, I'd reinstall a good one, but I'm not. So I just bought some charger packs off Amazon, and I can charge my phone and my headset, and that's really all I need for this bike. And it's perfect. So, and I just keep the proper cables for it. So the next thing I did was this seat cover and foam pad. It was really, really bad and really uncomfortable. And although I still got to get off this bike to give myself a butt brake and a back brake, I would have to do it on my Yamaha as well. But this one was brutal. This was maybe like 30 to 40 minutes I'd have to get off. Now I can go an hour, hour and a half with much more comfort. This is about $109 off of Amazon. I forget what it is right now, but if you just type in Gen 1, Gen 2 KLR 650 foam seat replacement pad and cover, it comes up. It's a funny name, but really I got this off of Marketplace for $45 because the fellow that bought it was getting rid of it. He got rid of his bike and he wasn't going to use it, and it was in the bag still. So it was it's for a Gen 2, but it lays right on, and it fits right over your pan, and then you just put the cover on, and the cover's nice and pliable. Like it's really stretchy. It's great. It's really durable. I've had it all year. I got that back in the early spring, late winter, and I haven't regretted it. And my tailbone and back and loins and everything are super happy about it. And then I guess I should talk about the rear fender. So mine was always melted, and I actually never really minded the rear fender on the Gen 1. I like that Sherman tank look. I really do. A lot of people hate it. They think it's crap. Sure. This ain't a very sporty bike. It doesn't even look very sporty. And this to me looks like a sportier fender. And I don't need to have this type of fender on there for looks or anything. I just wanted to get rid of the melted fender. I hated that it was melted. Plus my inner lining fender, the mudguard that goes under the seat, it was busted all the heck, and it was taped up with black Gorilla tape. So I didn't like that. And I actually had melting going on all here on my fender. And then even the inside light housing had heated up at one point, and it was all falling apart. And I even tried to use the old inner fender off my other one, but they just will not line up. They won't work well. You'd have to it'd be too much modifying and screwing around. And this one had a bunch of holes in it because whoever did this, I got this from a wrecking yard, motorcycle wrecking yard. And there's a bunch of holes here for the plate bracket, and then they used the light bulb from underneath was here, and I did a short on that, and basically it was just this huge light bulb, like just this great big bulb driving around. And I put these little Amazon LEDs on there for 10 bucks and wired them in, and they are perfect. So what I've actually done is I put the bracket here, and then it's on those holes, and then all rubber mounted and hard mounted. Like there's rubber grommets in there, and then I bolted it to that bracket. And then up here what I did is I used these to pin this and the plate to it, and I just ran those wires through the holes. So it's as tight as I can get it for what I paid for. I got the fender, the tail light, and the inner fender. And my inner fender was just destroyed from previous. So you can see there, it's probably melted just a tiny bit, but just getting used to this bike. But mine was actually destroyed. All here was tape, and it was just shot. So I'm really happy that I got for what I did, and it slaps right on. It basically drops right on. I have a little bracket here for these signals. There's a bracket. I had to bolt it to this because there wasn't enough rear fender that comes out to bolt this bracket to. But other than that, you can see where I bolted to that plate, and it all goes on, and I can run the setup I had before. It's tighter. It's a tidier look. It was black, so it matches the bike, so you don't see all the green flaking off, and it seems to be doing a really good job. I'm pretty happy with it and how it's all turned out. And that's it. That's my 2025 video. I've basically just been taking this on trips. I only went to work a few times with it. It's been a slow year for work for me. And I did some trips with some friends on the weekends, and I put the miles on this. And when I could, on the long trips that I could. And I haven't done anything to it other than the chain and the fender and that seat cover, which it certainly needed. And I think that's about it. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah. I mean, I guess I painted some graphics on it, like these khaki camo digital effects I put on it, but that's just cosmetic. So I don't think I've done anything else mechanically to it or physically to it other than that. So it's one of those days. I drove out to Toronto today from Northumberland County, and I'm just coming back and taking a minute, and then I am going to go home and see the family, and then that's it. So I think that's all I'm going to write for today. I don't think I've got anything else to talk about other than the regular maintenance and oil change, the yearly that I do before I start the year, and going through it, tweaking it and such. But so we'll leave it there. Hope you enjoyed.